What is up, everyone? Welcome to the NoLife Gaming Show. How's everyone doing this evening? Big releases. Well, one big release that we're going to talk about. Red Dead Redemption. I have many thoughts. I've played countless amount of hours. I'm about 50% of the way through an extremely long and gigantic game. Who knows when I'll finish it. But Spider-Man has been on hold since the game has been released. So we're going to talk about that. We got some news for you. Then we'll see you guys tomorrow to talk about the Apple keynote where they released new iPads. We're going to talk about the OnePlus 6T. We're going to talk about the most famous and most sought-after headphones, these bad boys, the M50AT, M50Xs, going wireless with Bluetooth. And, yeah, that's all tomorrow. So we'll keep you updated. Make sure you're following us here on NoLife Digital on YouTube, as well as on our Instagram at NoLife Digital and our website, nolife.digital, to stay updated on all things tech, gaming, and culture. So what's up, dudes?
Yeah, it's been a week.
About time. I feel like we haven't had a fun release week in a while.
I mean, yeah.
Some nice, fun releases.
Not since summer, really.
Yeah, this was a good one.
I mean, of like huge AAA games, not really. But at the same time, I'm not playing it yet, so.
Yeah, and Doobie, you're not you haven't played it yet either, have you?
I have not.
But watching it's been
actually
fun.
get around to it.
You guys have been watching it?
Like not really, because I'm not trying to spoil it.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's the fucking internet. It's all over Reddit. They're like every other thing's a fucking GIF.
Yeah.
Or like, look at the corpse decompose, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen a few things like about it, but like I haven't like extensively researched it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out. I don't know. I do want to play that game. I just have not had any time or console.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna go buy one, not just for that, but for a lot of other things too. But it's just one of those, like, I have not had time this week for basically anything. So, yeah.
I'm telling you, it is a good one. It's a good fucking game. But I feel like a lot of people aren't going to like it because it is so different from a lot of the games in its genre. It controls very heavy. Like the way that Arthur controls, and I have some footage here. I'm going to put it up. Just give me a second to get it going. But the way that Arthur controls is they try to go very lifelike and very realistically, and in doing so, it becomes very heavy. And when you combine that with how cinematic the game is, there's a very steep learning curve to actually getting to it feeling natural. But after about 20 hours in, it starts to feel natural, and it makes sense because the way he moves is cinematic. And when you get into these super large-scale fights and you're hopping on horses and you're trying to get away and you're robbing trains and you're robbing banks, the way he moves and the animations and the people around him, once it starts to click, I mean, it's second to none. It is so fucking good. And that's where the game, for me, is in its best moments. It's when... Because it's also the kind of game that, to me, it feels like a Western sim. Like, it doesn't feel like an action open world game. It feels more of like a Western sim. It feels a lot like they took a lot of cues from Zelda, which was really interesting. It's like a much more beautiful Zelda with better cinematics and a much better story. But if you want to compare them to the two, Zelda is going to be a lot more fun for a lot of people because of how stripped down it is, of how well Link is controlled. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there's two type of games here, which I find really interesting, and there's been a lot of split decisions in the gaming community about it. What was crazy is a lot of people who were coming out and saying that they didn't like the game, like reviewers, when they first started coming out and saying they didn't like the game, a lot of the gaming community was like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. This is going to be the greatest game ever, but they haven't played the fucking game. And now that the game's out, there's a lot of
seen it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Now that the game's out and they're playing it, they're like, wow, actually, I don't know if I like this. It's very, very slow at first because there's so much you need to learn. You need to learn how to walk. You need to learn how to get into cover the right way. You need to learn how to ride your horse and maintain your horse, maintain your health, maintain your camp. There's a lot of these weird little survival things that you need to learn, that you need to make sure you get down right. But for me, that's where that stuff adds up to those special moments in this game that just I'm so addicted. I cannot stop playing.
So it takes about 14 years to start playing.
I would say the first 8 hours, like the first day you play, it's fun, and they do a good job of giving you fun tutorial missions, especially missions that actually pertain to the story. So that's not just like, go fishing or something stupid. They actually pertain to the story. Some of them are like action packed. So it's not slow in that sense. It's slow in like getting the handle of the world, and then you know what I mean. Like once that world opens up, like how Rockstar usually does it, where that second sort of city opens up, and then you're like, okay, now I have a lot more to do here. Now I'm really starting to see the game. That's that's what this game kind of does. Exactly.
Go back to my favorite Grand Theft Auto is San Andreas, and
They're always
that
slow.
game is a lot of tutorial missions in the beginning, just like any other Rockstar game. But
Yeah.
they make it so that they're fun.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also how people play it. Because I mean, one of my buddies, he just, he won't shut up. He just goes hunting for like an hour on end.
Yeah.
That's all he does. He just fucking goes walks around the world hunting.
Yeah. Yeah, the hunting's awesome, man. The hunting is great. And you can get addicted to it. You can get into that.
Like, there's not even a mini game for it. It's a fun game to just walk around and shoot fucking random animals.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I mean, getting into hunting, let me play some clips here. I have so much footage, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, please do, because like shit like that's what makes a world immersive to me. Is like if hunting's engaging, not a mini game about hunting. It's getting like there's people who are just having fun walking around, just shooting, like just hunting for an hour.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes those worlds feel alive to me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
when it's like you're making up the mini game.
Right. And it's not like stupid hunting. It's a lot where you have a goal in your hunting. So you want to craft like this really interesting looking bag, and maybe it adds like it allows you to hold extra tonics or something. Where you need to go out and you need to find these certain animals and get their skins or their pelts to craft this special bag. But these animals, you need to kill them the right way. You can't just go and blast them with a shotgun. You have to kill them so that you don't destroy their pelts, which is awesome. And you have to make sure that you find the right starred animal. So there's a lot of the animals in the game, they have 3 different stars. So you have like a 1 star, which is a poor quality, 2, 3, and that kind of determines the animal. So not only that, so you have to get the right animal with the right skill quality, the animal that has the pelt that you need, and you need to kill it correctly. And you have to watch out for raiders that might be out there. You have to watch out for predators that could kill you. You have to make sure you're eating, so you have to set up camp. And they do such a good job of hold on, I need to play this footage so I can show you guys the game.
I mean, that sounds like everything I've ever wanted from Fallout crafting.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's exactly. And it kind of, I don't know why this isn't fucking working, man. It kind of is like it's kind of like Witcher in a sense. I every time I play this game, I can't help but think, how much was The Witcher? In my opinion, it's like The Witcher is the top of the top when it comes to open world games, right? There's nothing new here. I've said this before.
Every episode, we say it.
Give me 1 second, guys. I have no idea why I'm using fucking Windows Movie to fucking play this, and it won't capture it for some reason. Oh my god. I can't deal with this. Hold on a second. You know what? I'll just do it like this. Whatever. Hopefully this will work. Come on. I don't know why it's not working. It's just frozen.
It knows what you
watched.
watched.
All right, there we go. So here's some footage here. All right. What were we talking about?
Witcher 3.
Witcher 3. Yeah, so a lot of the comparisons that I find with Witcher 3 aren't necessarily, cuz I still feel like Witcher 3's combat is just it's so intuitive and so fluid. This combat is not. It's very realistic and it's very authentic. So for instance, when you're shooting people, right, you're using a repeater, using one of those kind of cock back guns, you have to manually cock the gun back. So you can't just go in and just start lighting people up like Grand Theft Auto. You get an AK and you can just start spraying down. This, you have to cock it back, and that's gonna mess up your recoil. You're gonna have to wait, and then in the meantime, you got 5 different guys shooting at you. You better be in a good position, and it's that type of. It's all of the survival stuff and the kind of like the slow pace of it, and the music is so fucking good in this game. It's all that sort of leads up into these really big moments that just feel right. So a good example is, I guess a good example, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's certain missions where there's a lot of steps that need to be put into place into doing it, right? So you have a lot of stuff that you need to do to make sure that that when you do the mission, it's all ready to go. And sometimes you have to talk to people. Sometimes you have to go fetch things. You need to get a certain gun. And then when it's time to do that big mission, the way that the writing comes together, the way that all of the survival mechanisms come together, it just makes it feel so much more rewarding, and it makes it feel like natural. Like it's not, you just pop in and now you're, doing a heist. You just pop in and now you're robbing a bank or something. It's just a real natural progression, and I think this is easily Rockstar's best written game. The dialogue, the way that the characters speak to you, all of that is just so top tier in this game. It's really good. It's a really sad story so far of this man who is coming to realize his life, the way that he's living, is not the right way, and he doesn't really know much else. So you're trying to reconcile that. What's also cool is if you played the first one, John Marston's in this one, but he's not the playable character. He is like the side character. So you're getting what happened back then with him and Dutch, and you're getting what happened with that whole gang before the first one, which is awesome because this is a prequel to that one. And that was really cool because I really did enjoy. It was one of my favorite games, Red Dead Redemption, and to see the way that they wrote in John and how the dynamics of him and Dutch and him and his family kind of spilled out. It's just that story just, there's so much that keeps you coming back to it, and it's just such a really special game in my opinion. Like once I'm done with this, unless the online is insane, I really don't see myself coming back to it. It's just that kind of game where you just kind of spend 100 hours on it, and once it's done, you kind of just put it away, and you're just like, man, that was a really cool game. I feel like I feel I'm 50% of the way in, but once you start getting into those higher percentages, it takes longer and longer to sort of complete. So I could easily have another 50, 60 hours left in this game, which is awesome. I don't mind that. I really started grinding through this. I tried to get as much as I'd done can before today. But there's just still so much, man. There's still so much. Now in terms of like the bad stuff, I will say it's just mainly that sort of control, that feeling of control that you have with Arthur and the way he kind of controls in the game. That's really the only knock I have against it, and that's a pretty big knock for a lot of people. That's why I don't think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this game. If you want something that's fast, if you want something that's like GTA, really, that's just super fast, it's super hard hitting, you know what I mean? There's a lot there. There's a lot of, action to action to action. If you want something like that, you're not going to like this game at all, because this is not this game. This is a survival Western sim in every sense of the word. Very slow, The hunting is like, a lot of the hunting is you just walking. You just walking, looking for that right animal.
Hunting.
Yeah, exactly. It's you setting down traps and removing the smell off you because this animal, can smell you because it's a good animal. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like maybe not, because of course I haven't played it yet, so I don't know how crazy the walking is. But I feel like enough people are definitely going to push through that. Just because, I don't know, for me personally. God, almost every GTA has felt like shit the first time you play it.
Yeah.
like animation wise, running wise, like the like still. I mean, even still, like the way they run in 5 is just wonky
Yeah.
compared to every other game.
They're very
Same
heavy.
thing in 4. Yeah, it's so like I given the doubt, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are still going to push through that because that is kind of the Rockstar
Yeah.
animation way.
Yeah. What it feels like to me with this one that they do better in terms of the animation is that the characters have weight to them and they feel a little bit heavy, but you have momentum. So you once you learn how to use the momentum, like, all right, we're going down a hill on the horse. If we, just start jumping with the horse is literally going to topple over and you're probably going to die. Like it uses momentum in a real way. And it feels cool because, like, you have enemies coming down on a hill and you hit them with a sniper, you hit them with a shotgun. They drop the right way, and there's nothing more satisfying than having 4 or 5 guys drop in a realistic way because you're sniping them from the top of like a fucking an encampment somewhere. And it's those moments that I think the controls really work in its favor. Man, I don't know, man. I can say so much about this game. There's just so much to it. I feel like I'm missing things. It's just so gigantic. It's so gigantic.
I mean, it's Rockstar. You're gonna miss things. Like there's still like.
Yeah.
I mean, if this game's done the way it seems to have been done, it reminds me of like Fallout. There's a couple of guys who do Fallout lore videos. Literally, that's all they do. Even still today, there's so much fucking content that they're still making a half-hour lore video about a thing they found every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm that's kind of what I'm expecting out of this game.
Yeah.
Because I think there's enough there to find.
Yeah, and the world, like in terms of like collectibles, like if you're a collectathon kind of guy, there's so much. Like there's the compendium, which is all the animals and all of the wildlife that you kind of encounter. And then there's like these dinosaur bones. Like you meet some fucking paleontologist from the big city. And she's like, hey, you find me all these dinosaur bones. I'll pay you big money. And it's a cool, like it fits in the story because it's around that time period. She's this woman who has sort of been outcast because she's a scientist, and they don't, the whole Bible area is kind of, they just don't like her because she's the scientist who's finding all these dinosaur shit. So she's like, listen, I need to get all the dinosaur bones I can before they kind of destroy my work. And that stuff's cool, Yeah, and they touch on like topics like the women's movement, getting them to vote, which is awesome. There's so many awesome missions around that. And how Arthur, because it's, when you think of Rockstar, you think of like machismo, male dominated kind of, you know what I mean? Like the stories are very male driven. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like a masculine circle jerk. Well, this one, they really, in my opinion, they really pulled back on that. So they touch on race really, really well. There's a lot of things with race in here that are uncomfortable, but the way that they write them is just beautiful. Same with the women's movement, and it just brings you closer and closer to these people. The coolest thing in this game, this is the coolest thing, is you will meet someone on the road. Maybe their car broke down. Maybe their husband's beating them, so they're running away, and you'll need to help them, and they will literally show up in the game 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hours later in the most random ways, and it's really cool. So whether you help them or not, they're gonna come and impact you, and it's crazy because like you'll be in camp and you'll just be like, I don't know, like shaving your beard, something stupid. And someone will come up to you and say, hey, there's someone that was looking for you. And then it'll be, come to find out it was someone that you either robbed before, or it was someone that you helped out and they need extra help to do something. And this leads into the next thing. And then this leads back into the story. And you do like these full missions. And that stuff is so fucking awesome. And that's this kind of stuff that is really exciting. If that leads
back into the story too, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because like Bethesda games have always done something like that. And so, even Zelda did to an extent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, no one's done it good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if they actually did that kind of system really good, yeah, I'm stoked then.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've never played a game where characters walk up to you to give you a quest. You know what I mean?
Oh, I have.
I think that's
like
really cool.
but like I said, it just wasn't necessarily done well or the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, this just feels natural. It feels it's I don't know, man. They did a really good job on this game, but you will play this game and you're like, okay, it definitely makes sense that employees were sticking around for hundreds and hundreds of hours creating it, because there's just no way you could, or there's just no way this game could ever be made without some sort of like dictator up there making sure that every little animation is done. Um, there's like little details in the world. There's little details in the animations. Like for instance, you'll be riding a horse and you'll ride through trees that kind of come up to your head, and your character like ducks out of the way and kind of pushes them out of the way. And then when it rains and it gets muddy, there's certain animations that come into play that just don't happen anywhere else. You walk into a certain mission, and the mission, you have to do some stuff in the mission, and the way that a lot of the characters in the world kind of react to you are differently than what they normally are. And it's like that type of like care and detail put into a game. You're just like, damn, man, this was definitely a project that I'm sure a lot of people weren't having fun making. You know what I mean?
Do they do that too? I mean, you were saying it's natural, which that's the most intriguing part to me. Because like if they're doing that naturally, and it's it's not like a bar pops up saying, "Hey, Good Springs likes you," you know what I mean, or Example Town likes you, you know what I mean? That would be really cool if you can notice those changes without it being just a blatant bar or like a progress system, et cetera, et cetera.
No, yeah, they don't give you anything like that. There's no like.
Yeah, no, that's what I expect, and like that's what's kind of cool when that's executed well.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to tell by either their body language. I mean, the facial animations in this game are the best that I've ever seen. And you can tell when someone's kind of lying, which is crazy. But you got to remember, they also did LA Noire, which is that whole game was like trying to find out people who are lying. So I think they took a lot of those animators and put them in this game, because that's very important. You need to tell, when someone's lying in certain missions, because you're going to be having decisive moments where it's like either do this or you're gonna have to do that, and the outcome determines what you choose. And that plays a role into it. And they don't say like, hey, this guy likes you or not. It's, did you help this guy before? If so, then he might help you, but he might be a scumbag and he might come back and bite you in the ass. Or did you fuck this guy over? Did you rob him? If so, then he might come back and kick your ass. Or he might also be some type of weird guy who enjoys being robbed. You know what I mean? Like, they just think of fucking like, it's insane. It's fucking insane. The shooting mechanics are fucking great, but it's a lot of shooting gallery stuff. It's get behind cover, aim your gun, and pop away. It's not like I don't know, what's a game that has, it's not like Bayonetta or anything like that. It's like you sit behind cover, you load you figure out what weapon you want to use. There's a lot of stuff in the world that you can use to fight with. So you'll see like dynamite somewhere. You can blow that stuff up. They have Gatling guns.
Or you put in the cheat code and play it like GTA.
Do they? There's a whole cheat menu
mode
in this game actually.
Yeah.
That I do want to.
God mode, going guns blazing everywhere.
I think I might create a second save just for like cheats and just to fuck around.
Spam a tank.
Yeah. I don't know why this Windows thing is.
No,
is
just
such a
go
problem.
old school Age of Empires and just get the Corvette.
Yeah, I don't know why this isn't working. This is the worst video player ever. Don't ever use this video player.
You're not wrong.
Oh my god, man. It was just working. Do you guys have any other questions on the game? Do I recommend it? I absolutely do. Absolutely.
Really? That's surprising.
I absolutely recommend it. I recommend you guys go play it right now, actually.
Is it your game of the year?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Or is it
I have to
really
finish it.
actually Blobs?
No, it's definitely not Blobs.
Or is it Spider-Man or God of War?
That would be the other two options. It would either be Spider-Man of God of War, and those are
Man of God of War.
You're
they're
telling me it's not Super Mario Party?
no, it's not Mario Tennis either. It could have been Mario Tennis could have been in the running, but they fucked it up. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think it's getting there. I have to finish it, but like I said, it's such a game that you're gonna remember. You know, there's a lot of God of War that I love. Like, I love the combat in God of War. I love the game itself. Like, I love the story, everything about it. But it's also kind of run-of-the-mill hero story. I feel like a lot of it's just not memorable. A lot of it's just like having fun killing people, you know, collecting shit and upgrade. It's not like, holy shit, I've never seen this before in a game. Holy shit, I've never seen this before in a game. Holy shit, I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, this game constantly is doing that. You're constantly like, oh my God, they think of everything in this game. Oh my God, this mission is so grand. This is the greatest mission I've ever played. You know how many fucking missions I've played in this game where I thought to myself, this is the greatest mission I've ever played. So I think it's getting there. But Spider-Man, dude, is so fun. It's hard to deny how fun Spider-Man is. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing that you can't discredit, is like how much fun you have playing a game. You know, it's not fun traveling. It's not fun having to get one pelt, then travel all the way across the map, which takes 25 minutes maybe, just to drop the pelt off, and then have to go all the way back to get another pelt because you need 2 pelts. And you can't carry 2 pelts because there's only one room for 1 pelt. So that kind of stuff is not fun. You know, that's not fun at all. It's very tedious. There's a lot of tedious moments that aren't fun, but they lead up to these really special moments. And without it, you wouldn't have them. So it's a difficult decision. I don't know. Where Spider-Man, I had fun the entire way through. It's not as groundbreaking. It's not as, you know, it's not as groundbreaking, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I can't. Like, there's a lot of points in fun, you know? There's a lot of points that come with having fun with a game. Because overall, that's why you play them. I guess maybe this challenges that notion. Should games always be fun? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that actually is a really great question, because arguably, yes, but it depends on if your definition of fun is like enjoyment or entertainment.
Right. You know, like some of the talks that you have with Lenny, who's a black character in the game, they're very uncomfortable and they're not fun. Like, you're not like, it's you and him walking, you know, leading up to something that's going to be amazing and groundbreaking and fun at the same time. But that lead up is not fun. You know what I mean? So they do play an interesting role there with this game. Like, they really try to push the boundaries. It's something different. It's definitely a different type of game that not a lot of people are going to enjoy, for sure. If you want Zelda, if you want Super Mario Odyssey with tactile pinpoint and precision controls, you're not getting that here. You're getting a very cinematic and authentic experience, which isn't for everyone. For me, I'm a cowboy guy. I love cowboys. I love horses. I love fucking shooting guns. I love fucking Indians.
He even loves the NFL team somehow.
I love killing racists. That's always a good time. So for me, this is like everything I've wanted. I mean, if you think of, okay, here is Witcher 3, but a Western. There you go. That's kind of what you get here with Zelda mixed in, some elements of Zelda mixed in. Produced by Rockstar, so you have that whole Rockstar story arc in it.
And that's pretty fucking compelling.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if someone stole that to me, I'd be like, all right, let's play it. Where do I pre-order? But some people are like, you know what? I don't want that. I want to play Super Mario Odyssey, where I have complete control of my character. I'm smiling the whole time. You know, I'm jumping the way I want to jump.
Play Blops.
Some people just want to play Blops all day, or Fortnite and do Fortnite dances. You know, if you want to do Fortnite dances, this is not the game for you. That should be.
This is the channel for you either.
Yeah, this is not the channel for you. I don't know, Doobie. I hear Doobie's getting interested in Fortnite. He might be starting Fortnite.
Oh, the game's fine. Just don't do the fucking dance in public. Jesus Christ.
No, I am not getting. I played Fortnite for like 3 hours and was just No, I'm never going back. Deleted it off the Switch. I was like, nah, fuck this shit.
By the way, I recorded all of this footage on the Xbox One X. That is the best feature. You don't need an Elgato. You don't need to hook up your PC to anything. You don't need OBS. It's shadow play, but it's on the Xbox. And it records it there's no performance hit. It records it in 1080 up to 4K, 4K 60 frames per second if you have the storage capacity. And it fucking works beautifully. All systems need that. All systems need it. I love it. It made it so much easier. You just connect a hard drive, boom. You can record your gameplay. It was really cool. And they have the shadow play feature where it's like, oh fuck, I missed recording this, but I can record up to 2 minutes backwards in time. So it's always capturing like that 2-minute buffer.
Okay. Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, it was really nice to have that. And then I was playing Soul Calibur. I was playing it a bunch last night too. I had to take a break
Another
from
bigger release. Yeah, Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I haven't played Soul Calibur in a long time. I am not the best fighting game guy either. You know, I'm not Doobie over here. I'm not. What's that Smash Brothers guy's name? We need to get him on. By the way, weren't we supposed to like have him host or something?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah,
I remembered his real name, but not his gamer tag.
Steph Tendo.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a bit, but with Smash Direct happening upcoming, I'll probably be talking to him a lot. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bring him back.
Yeah, but I'm not Steph Tendo, okay? I'm not. I don't have a hoary gamepad, but I love fighting games. Injustice was one of my favorite fighting games. Was that last year or the year before? I can't
Last
quite
year.
remember. Yeah, last year. Injustice 2, loved it. Tekken was great, but I still thought Injustice was better. This one is so much fun. I think I like it better than Injustice. The whole way, it's a lot more of there's weapons, right? And there's guards and there's parries and there's reversal edges and critical edges, and there's just a lot more that it offers in terms of actual combat in the game. It's not so much just remember all these combos and start ripping away, you know? And that's a lot of the problem that I have with like a Street Fighter is that I don't want to remember all the strings of combos because I want to get in and play different play styles and use different weapons, and that's what this game offers. And I think that's really cool. So there's like a story mode where you kind of progress your character and you can pick up different weapons along the way. You win different weapons, and that allows you to craft the kind of fighter that you want. And I think that's really a really fun aspect of it because you're getting the Soul Calibur fighting experience, but you're constantly evolving the way that you play and the way that you fight. And then there's just the whole regular arcade battle system. The only problem with this game is the online is trash, at least on console.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's not.
'Cause I'm definitely interested in Soul Calibur 6 because
Is that this one? Soul Calibur 6, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like I mean I'm interested because I'm not a big fighting game person either. I do like me some Smash, but like growing up, dude, it was Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah.
That's what me and my friends played every fucking day was
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah.
So like there's definitely a lot of nostalgia there, but it was like I'm kind of feeling that. I miss that.
Yeah. It's fun. It's just really fun.
Yeah.
And like I said,
It's
you're-
not the most competitive or anything, but like it's just stupid fun.
yeah. And it's not like like you have to remember, okay, left, down, up, A, B, down, left. You know what I mean? It's not that type of fighting game. It's like, okay, this guy likes to overhead vertical attack, so you can either parry to the right, or you can kind of do a different block, or he likes to do horizontal attacks, you can, zone him. So it's kind of like, okay, it's like spurts of battle. So it's like boom, 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 and you're trying to figure out your opponent along the way. And I like that.
Fighters. That's how 3D fighting games usually are. Like,
Well, I'd say Tekken, a lot of Tekken is just combos and getting your guy into a combo and just comboing his ass to death.
yeah, but I mean, like when it comes to like quarter circle forward punch, quarter circle back, like,
Right.
those kinds of things, like
Yeah.
you see in anime fighting games or Street Fighter and most 2D fighting games.
Right.
Like 3D fighting games definitely rely more heavily on knowing your angles, knowing your overheads, your lows,
Yep.
things like that, and getting those, like winning those like one-on-one matchups in between like the micro battles.
Right.
in a fight.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. And that's why That's why I've been really having fun with this. And I do like the customization of it. Like you create any character you want, use any weapon you want, have any fighting style you
Have
want.
you seen Twitter? Twitter is so great with that. There's been so many good ones.
Yeah, you can create anything.
I have seen all the main characters from Suikoden made. I've seen Ninja Turtles be made.
Yeah.
A lot of people were making 2B before they announced her.
Yeah, 2B's coming to it, which is awesome. That's definitely going to be one that I want to main. Right now, I've been maining Geralt, of course. I had to, man. He's such
you come on, man. Every guest character you've always like. I was a Link main on GameCube,
Right.
Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, I had to main Geralt. All right, I got a question. So, the first two, her name was Sophia, right? The girl with the shield and the sword. Her name was Sophia.
Yeah, they changed
Sounds
her name.
familiar.
In this one, her name is Sophisha. So it's like, or Sophitia. I think it's pronounced Sophisha.
Russian?
I mean, it could be maybe that's the proper. You know how translations go. They could have
Maybe,
been
but
less
I'm like,
translated.
why would you change her name to Sophisha? That's not a name. Sophia is a name. Sophisha's not. That's a terrible name. But anyway.
Sofita.
Yeah, here's Geralt. This is where I fight him as I'm Mitsurugi, and we're fighting Geralt. But he's an awesome character. He does all the spells, and he could drink potions in the middle of the fight. It's fun, Jerry. I think if you're looking for a game that's not too competitive but is super fun, pick it up, man, because you're gonna have a blast with it. Probably be on sale in like a week. These fighting games go on sale so fast.
Yeah, fighting games they never stay full price for long.
Dude, I have a weird nostalgia with Soul Calibur 2. Like Soul Calibur 2 on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Soul Calibur 2 was one of my all-time favorite fighting games in that era.
Yeah. It was so great. I mean, just because it was the one with weapons, you know?
And
And,
the reason why these fighting games like go down in price so quickly is they make all their money off of that season passes
yeah.
and DLC. That's where they make all their money.
And I'd be surprised if a lot of people bought this game, especially with Red Dead right here. You know what I mean? This is more of like wait until
especially-
it's like $45 to pick up.
Yeah. Well, especially I can see it staying higher this year because even though they are competing with Red Dead, like last year it also seemed like they were going down so fast because every other fucking week there was a new fighting game.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, well, there was our 1 week window. We got to knock it down so we can keep getting sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean fighting games and you look at the sales, like Red Dead 2 is capturing a lot of like casual people. Fighting games don't sell like that for the casual audience, with the exception of like Dragon Ball did.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you're really selling to a very niche community of fighting game fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. That's fair. It just also, I think, the amount of hype around Red Dead 2,
It was unnatural, you know?
yeah, it's definitely gonna have a year of being GTA 5 where it's just
Everywhere.
the top 5 seller every single month.
Imagine what happens when they put it on PC.
I know.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep being the top 5 seller.
Just
I
like
will
Grand
say-
Theft Auto 5 was.
If
Yeah.
you want a fighting
is.
game, I would either recommend Injustice 2 or this one. I would say you would have so much fun with either, but I mean, if you have nostalgia for Soul Calibur, this one's awesome. They really do a good job with this one. It's just, I will say the problem with this game is the loading screens. You pop into loading screens all the time, and that does get annoying. That cuts down on the enjoyment because you just want to get in and whoop some dude's ass. You don't want to have to hit a loading screen, fight for 1 minute because the battles don't take too long. Thank you very much. And then
The online component you said is like
online is
code
netcode is just not good.
laggy,
But that's my nostalgia.
True.
It's Soul Calibur.
terrible input lag.
Yeah, very true.
it's you get a fight once every 2 minutes and you just kind of sit there.
Is Soul Calibur 6 on PC?
Yeah, it's on PC.
Is it
Yes.
online? I wonder.
That's how I know about it is because I saw it on Steam last week.
I wonder if the online's better on PC than it is on console.
I would assume so. I'm playing it on Xbox.
I think Dragon Ball is better on PC than it is on console for lag.
Yeah, I would assume so. On Xbox, it's not very good. It's not that bad. It's not like, Mario Tennis, that's for sure.
It's not like it's gonna be Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I'm telling you, people are going to be disappointed when that game gets released because that online is so fucking bad. But I digress. Soul Calibur 6 is a hell of a good time. I do recommend it. Maybe wait till it drops down in price.
Yeah,
If you're not a
2B being in the game like has me probably interested when it goes on sale.
Mm,
I could always go for another fighting game on PC.
yeah. All right, let's get into news. Give me 1 sec. Why is it? Oh, it says I was muted. All right, let's get into news. Give me 1 second to bring this up. All right. What do we got here? Undertale creator to reveal something new tomorrow. And that is that by tomorrow. So by the time they hear this, tomorrow?
Wednesday morning, Halloween, I believe, is what the article states.
Thank you.
It's interesting what he's like teasing, because the Undertale Twitter is back. I guess I'd be deactivated for a while. So it started tweeting out some cryptic stuff. And then the creator, Toby Fox, was pretty much like, hey, if you beat Undertale, like if you beat the game, and you're playing on PC or Mac, check it in 24 hours from 9:02 a.m. October 30th. So I guess he's like, I guess they're releasing an update to the game that's gonna have some hints to the new game that he's working on or a sequel. No one's really sure, but he's working on something new. And Undertale was one of those games that, like, I know it gets it has this really kind of toxic fan base. Yeah. It is a really good game. It is a really good indie game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can kind of get beyond the fan base and actually play it, it's a really good game. It's not.
What makes the fan base so toxic?
They're just the kind of people that are like, this game changed my life. If you say anything negative about it, you obviously don't understand art. You're soulless, and they just will attack you if you have anything negative to say about the game.
Oh boy,
it's bad. And they like to. It's just not a good. I'm sorry, but the majority of that community, it's like the Rick and Morty fan base. Y'all need to get off a goddamn high horse and stop sniffing your own ass.
Yeah, say no more. I know
it's a good game. It's a good game. It's not the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all game.
In fact, when I looked at it, because people keep telling me it's a great game, I look at it, I'm just like, this looks boring as shit. I'd rather play Spider-Man.
It's kind of one of those games where if you like Earthbound, like the old SNES game,
kind of like true to their slice of life styles.
Kind of slice of life. If you like good writing, you like good characters, but it's quirky and different. Mm-hmm. And then it's got 3 different, there's like 3 different paths you can go. You can go like the genocide route. You can go like the hard playthrough where you don't actually kill anything, you mercy everything, like you let everything live. Mm-hmm. It's got a really interesting twist. It's a good game for an indie developer that he did it himself. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's really good. I recommend people play it. I want to see what he comes up with next. Honestly, I am interested in this.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I gotta play the old one. To me, it looks kind of stupid, but I hear good things, so maybe it'll change my mind.
It's like I said, if you like Earthbound, you like these weird kind of quirky writing, quirky stories, quirky characters. It's very unique in that aspect. Mm-hmm. And the music's actually really good. Megalovania is not one of the most covered video game songs for no reason.
Mm-hmm. The music in Red Dead is so fucking phenomenal, by the way.
Is it orchestrated?
Mm-hmm. Nice. It's done by the guy who did GTA, but he, instead of picking, rappers and the top artists, he's doing
Western kind of
guitar symphonies, and it's just so fucking beautiful. That might be that honestly might be a game where I actually get the soundtrack from it, because it's kind of soothing music, that kind of explosions in the sky style guitar synths where it's very relaxing. And God, I gotta stop talking about that game.
Imagine mandolins. Imagine a lot of acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
that good old twang.
Yeah. That slide.
You asked me about my collection of video game OSTs. It's a lot.
You should get the Red Dead one. You might enjoy it.
I'll check it out. I do enjoy, I like those guitar tracks.
Yeah, anyone who's a fan of Explosions in the Sky, it has that same exact vibe. That Western sort of
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
it's like
we're just gonna
straight up explosions in the sky.
every news story we're gonna find a way to tie back to Red Dead.
Yeah.
This was Undertale, by the way, we were talking about.
I just want to tie it back to Explosion in the Sky, but okay.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
that's what the soundtrack is like. It's very explosions in this, like, Texas Western style, post alt music. It's amazing.
Yeah, this whole thing. I mean, I'll throw it out there. I don't think it's true at all. I know people are thinking about it, but a lot of people are saying that the Undertale Twitter's back, and coming up there's a Smash thing happening. People are like, oh, maybe Undertale and Smash, and I think that's completely wrong. And it's not gonna happen.
I don't think that either. No. But who knows, dude? The Smash there's a million different characters, so who knows?
Who knows?
So we talked about it a little bit before. 2B is coming to Soul Calibur 6, which is dope. One of my favorite games. Was that last year as well? Can't remember.
Nier Automata might have been 2016 actually.
I think it was around Zelda or Horizon, one of those. I honestly can't remember.
Nier Automata. I
But-
feel like it's old.
It's honestly the most underrated game in a long time. I still tell people to get it. And no one listens.
Yeah,
Last year?
it was in March of last year. Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes sense then.
Then it didn't come out on Xbox One until this summer.
Yeah,
That's
recently.
right, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nier Automata, like, I mean, 2B is I really like the design, especially putting it in Soul Calibur. It actually, it really fits.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
kind of
does.
makes sense for that game.
Yeah. I can't wait for it to come out. That's pretty dope.
And plus, you got them thigh highs. Like, come on.
I might play that again. Actually, it is a fun one.
The 2B thirst is real.
Anthem's first mission shown off in new gameplay video. I have not seen this.
Yeah, it's still in alpha, so mind you,
Right.
it's like graphically there's some stuff going on. It's not clean like you want it to be, but it's also I don't know. I feel like the hype around this game has kind of died.
Yeah, it's
You're
not
not
as much as it
hearing
used to be.
Yeah, you're really not hearing much about it, and it's coming out in February.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. I mean, they'll hype it up a good month before. Like, right before it comes out, they'll hype it up for a couple, do the whole interview thing. And I guarantee you this game's going to get a lot of hype. But I'm just not. I think it's because everyone was so hyped around Destiny, and then Destiny kind of flopped. It was kind of less like, this is not
Yeah,
what anyone
and then
wanted.
Destiny 2 happened, and it kind of like a lot of people kind of fell off on that.
Yeah, it was just like, this is not what
And-
we wanted. This is not what
and
it
now,
looked like.
and now there's rumors that Destiny 3 is happening.
Oh my God.
There's been a few like quote unquote leaks that it's going to be heavily based on the RPG side of it now. I feel like Destiny is kind of just one of those like it'll get the third game, but that probably should be its last.
Unless the third game is drastically different and better.
Yeah, if it's drastically different, because 2 really kind of felt like, hey, you like Destiny 1, but here's Destiny 2, which is just Destiny 1 but reskinned.
Mm-hmm.
And yet again, it's not complete when we launch it.
And this looks like Destiny.
Yeah,
I don't know how
think
else to
that
put it.
I really think that is its biggest gripe right now. Is it looks too similar to Destiny? And
Yeah.
people,
It looks like they're just trying to cash in on that Destiny train. Because there's a lot of people that play it, for sure.
and it's BioWare, and BioWare. I mean, they've made some really good stuff in the past. Recently, they've kind of the track record's a little. Well, yeah, lately.
Yeah. It's just like this style of like bullet sponge gameplay, I feel like was so 2016. I feel like we're just not there anymore.
Yeah, people kind of want. I feel like that like market shift where like the bullet sponge games like these were like really huge and
Yeah.
everyone was playing them kind of shifted with, especially with God of War and Spider-Man, to this. People are really gobbling up, and now Red Dead really gobbling up this like the adventure, the open world. Zelda did it too. Like that
Yeah.
seems to be where the market is right now. Horizon Zero Dawn
Exactly.
was the game in that category.
Gigantic open world single player experiences.
Yeah,
where-
and then like when you get God, what the hell's it? The Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's another game kind of in that.
That's gonna sell crazy. That's gonna sell crazy. Yeah, the bullet sponge stuff like the Division and Destiny and then Anthem. That's like it was fun 2 years ago, and
Have you
now
heard
it's
anything
like
about Division 2? Like, I saw the thing at E3, and then I haven't heard a damn thing about it since.
no, I haven't heard much.
I think it's gonna come and go real quick.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a bullet sponge, no one gives a shit type of game where it's like, oh, it's co-op. It's just like, yeah, but at the same time, you're literally just shooting guns at an enemy. There's no story. There's no progression. No one really cares about it. You know, people want more curated cinematic experiences.
Division 2 comes out March 15th of 2019. It'll come and go by March 30th. Nobody will remember it.
I'll hold you to it. I will hold you to it. Moving on. PlayStation Classic lineup. Full lineup revealed. So we're getting Ballerina Toshinden, Cool Borders 2. I dig Cool Borders 2. I dig
I like that pick.
I dig Destruction Derby. I dig Final Fantasy 8 or 7, I'm sorry. I don't dig Grand Theft Auto. That game is terrible.
The original Grand Theft Auto.
The game is so terrible.
The top-down one.
There's a reason why it sold 0 copies.
I think that should have not been in here.
No. Intelligent Cube, I definitely dig. That is a phenomenal game, and I guarantee you it holds up till today. Jumping Flash, everyone played it on a demo disc. No one really remembers it.
I remember it only because I know people who actually speedrun the game.
Really?
That's the only reason I know about Jumping Flash.
Metal Gear Solid is obviously a classic, 10 out of 10 game. Mr. Driller, I have no idea what that is. Oddworld Dave's Odyssey is awesome. Rayman's awesome. Resident Evil's awesome. Revelations Persona.
It's the original first Persona game. But I don't think it should have been on here. I think the second Persona game, which is objectively a better game with better graphics, with a better story, with better music. They're not tied together. It's not like, like a sequel. It's Persona 2. I really think that should have been on here instead of Revelations Persona.
It was probably cheaper to get Persona 1. That's probably why they did that.
I mean, Persona outside of the side games that they've done with the 3DS, which are not even Persona games, they're Etrian Odyssey games with a Persona skin. Persona is a Sony exclusive. So I don't see why they couldn't have gotten Persona 2 on here.
Well, Ridge Racer is pretty cool. But, you're going to be racing old-ass cars. You're not going to be racing the new i8 or nothing like that. Super Puzzle Fighter, just kind of meh. Siphon Filter, meh. Tekken 3, meh. I mean, these are all kind of... You got Twisted Metal, but meh.
But why not Twisted Metal 2? The better Twisted Metal game.
I don't know. This thing is fucking stupid anyway.
I think I don't fully agree with their decisions on some of these. I think it's pretty. I think overall, I think it's pretty lackluster given how you can play Final Fantasy VII on literally any device. You can get it on your phone. You can get it anywhere. I think it would have been better for like some of these smaller, like some of these more rare games, like a Suikoden 2. That are like, if you want a physical copy of that game, it's going to cost you $150.
Yeah.
I feel like you throw that on there, people are going to go, oh, look at that. I can officially play the game officially right on this classic. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Some of these games, I just, like...
It's just...
Tekken 3, that's cool, I guess.
It's just dumb. You're not going to want to play these type of games.
And this is something for $100.
A Super Nintendo Classic makes sense because those games... They're different. It's like a different type of game in a different era. It's cutesy, sprite stuff. That's a lot of 2D stuff. It's super simple, super easy. This was like the turn of the modern gaming era. So it doesn't hold up. The graphics don't hold up. The gameplay don't hold up.
I'm telling you, I'm interested in seeing if Nintendo comes out with an N64 Mini or an N64 Classic, whatever they want to do, to compete with the PlayStation Classic, because I feel like the game choices on that, are going to be better only because the N64 didn't have a huge library of great games.
I mean, what do you want to play on N64 though?
I mean, I would love to play Smash 64 again.
Other than Smash.
Mischief Makers. GoldenEye. Perfect Dark.
No, you're not going to want to play GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. Those games are not. They don't hold up. You know.
It's the nostalgia factor.
I get. Yeah. But that lasts
It's-
5 minutes. That'll last you 5 minutes. They just don't
Smash 64
control.
alone. Smash. Do you know how much a cartridge of Smash 64 costs?
That's different. That's a game that does hold up. That's a game that does hold up. But all the other games, they don't.
Have you never played Mischief Makers?
I think I have. It sounds super familiar.
It's so good. It is such a fun game.
Is it Mischief Night Tonight, by the way? Oh, yes, I have played Mischief
It
Makers.
is Mischief Night.
Yeah, I have played Mischief Makers.
It's a fantastic game that's unique, and it played so well on the N64. I think that would be a great one to add. You throw in Jet Force Gemini, Mystical Ninja Gomon. I think there's plenty.
I think you play Smash, and that's about it. And all the other ones you play
Mario
for 5
Kart?
minutes.
Throw on
Yeah,
some Mario
but
Kart.
You
Super
got
Mario
the new Mario
64,
Kart on Switch. You can play in your hand.
Super Mario 64.
That I don't know.
I think it would sell really well because the Nintendo nostalgia is pretty. We've already seen it with the NES and SNES Mini. Like
they would need like Super Mario 64, Smash. They would need Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, it would sell better. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't play those games again. Definitely not
I
interested.
guarantee you it would sell better at the same price on the PlayStation Classic.
I agree. I mean, with this fucking PlayStation lineup, that's whack as fuck. Who wants to play Jumping Flash? Maybe Oddworld. That's about maybe Cool Borders
Who wants to
too.
play Grand Theft Auto, the original?
No one. Like you said, you can play all those games on your phone.
If you want to play Grand Theft Auto, just go on Steam and play. What's that? City Rampage, or whatever that game is. You know what I'm talking about. Retro Rampage.
Yeah.
Play that. It's a better Grand Theft Auto.
I would like Fighting Force on there. That would have been nice. All right.
Fighting Force would have been great. A beat 'em up. This doesn't have any beat 'em ups.
No, it's a terrible lineup.
You know what? On the N64 Mini, you throw Gauntlet 64 on there.
Have you ever played Die Hard on PlayStation?
Oh, it's bad.
It's amazing.
It's so bad.
From what I remember, it's the fucking greatest game ever played.
I think your childhood is blurred. It's bad.
I need to pick that game up. I need to play it. I need to get the
Die
emulator.
Hard.
Die Hard on PlayStation. I remember playing it for so many hours.
Oh no.
All right. Dice is looking for interns to study toxic behavior in Battlefield. Dice, what are you doing?
This is like, I mean, not only is this like, this is almost like the company itself pretty much admitting, yeah, we know our games are lead to toxic behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to hear Jerry's thoughts on this. On toxic behavior in Battlefield.
So
Dice is
in Battlefield.
Dice is looking for interns to study toxic behavior in Battlefield. The job listing reads as
That's not
follows.
gonna go well.
We want everyone to
least-
have fun playing Battlefield and participating in this community. Occasionally, some players will behave less than great, though. The project aims to give engineers and producers a deeper insight into our players' behavior on the battlefield to help deliver a better experience for everyone. Investigations include: what type of disruptive behavior do we see in Battlefield today? What drives or triggers people to disrupt other players' games? How can we prevent disruptive behavior in our titles and community? And what are some experiments we could conduct to measure benefits of punishing bad or rewarding good behavior?
I mean, just off of that, as a study, I can get behind. That sounds interesting. I would be interested in seeing that study. That doesn't scare me. What scares me is whatever the hell they're going to take out of that study and run with.
Yo.
Like
Yeah.
that is as a study, I think is a cool, interesting study. What scares me, yeah, obviously,
I think them doing it internally is a problem. I think if they were to hire a third party, like independent research team,
because everyone that's done it
studies.
inside has just, I mean,
And it's not just Battlefield; it's games.
it's
in general.
everything. I mean, look at Hearthstone. You can't even talk to people in Hearthstone during the game. You can just use an emote, and then of course that led to emote spamming. So now you can mute the emotes.
How about
You
Rocket?
can't
League?
even talk.
How about Rocket Leagues? What a goal! What a goal! What a goal!
Yeah, like,
Like,
and I mean,
say-
like that's part of the games. That is part of the fun. Sometimes it's annoying, but you can mute those things.
Yeah.
It's
That's the
one of
only
those
way
things
you
that-
get rid of it is you get rid of
Yeah.
communication. There's no
Which,
way around it. People will always want to talk shit to the other person, whether it's because they're getting their ass whooped or it's
especially
because
in a
they're doing the ass
competitive
whooping.
game,
Exactly. It's never
and
going to go away.
it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I guess it depends. It depends on the rating of the game. Last I knew, Battlefield was a mature rated game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it still is, because I think the last time I looked at ratings was like Battlefield 2. But
Should be mature, yeah.
like, I'm assuming it's a mature rated game. Like, who cares if someone says fuck if you have to technically be 17 or 18 or whatever, depending on whatever country you're in.
I'm wondering if they're more interested in like racism and
And that-
sexism stuff.
No,
which
that's
is a problem.
That's a fair yeah, no, that's a fair thing. The hard side of that is what I've always had a problem with a lot of these systems is it's a hard thing to just combat racism. Obviously, like, racism sucks, sexism's not fun, it fucking sucks, and these are things that happen way too often. The thing is, though, it's all consensual.
Mm.
You have the choice at any time to block communications, to mute people, to block people, to just mute everything, just play with bots.
Yeah, and most
like,
games, if you
those-
use like the N word or anything like that, you just get banned. Like you get banned from playing online.
Yeah, and like that's
the most you can do, really.
yeah, and I mean that's open to interpretation if that's right or not. I'm totally down for slaps on the wrist instead of bans.
No, it's up to the
But-
terms of service. If your terms
No,
of
I
service
know.
is not,
Oh,
then
yeah.
ban them. Fuck them.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where if you're a repeat offender, then yeah, just ban them.
Yeah.
Like if it's some dumb 13-year-old who's like, I mean, it's like the same thing to an extent with cheats, where like that's a weird line with me because I don't want to fucking play against cheaters,
Right.
and it fucking sucks. But it's like I don't want to ban a 13-year-old kid forever because he fucked up when he was 13. Like that doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah, well, I think the big problem too with a lot of these games is no one reads the terms of service.
Oh yeah,
So don't, especially in like an online game, if you're gonna be the guy that cheats, if you're gonna be the guy that drops the N-bomb all the time, make sure that you do it in games that aren't gonna ban you forever.
and go fuck
Otherwise-
yourself.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna get banned, and I really don't give two shits. If you're that type of person and you get banned, haha, then you suck.
Yeah,
I hope you buy it again and you get banned again.
same. Like I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, I do see how that goes both ways in the whole
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
like free speech movement, blah bullshit like that. I mean, I hate that whole. I hate a lot of what that movement's turned into, obviously. But like, I mean, there is valid points for that conversation, and valid talking points on both parts. But at the same time, yeah, it's not a fun thing to just run into a server and it's just fucking playing Moon Man or Moon. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah, I think yeah. I personally think the only way you really combat it is you just ban people that do it, and you tell people that you're gonna ban them if they do it.
Yeah.
Right in the
I
front.
mean, if
right
you're
when you
upfront
sign
about
in.
it, yeah.
If you
Like,
use
if
this word, if you cheat, if you use that word, if you cheat, we're gonna ban you right when you sign in. That way they know. Oh, okay, I shouldn't use this word, and if I do, then I'll be at risk of getting
Yeah.
banned. Then it's that
And I
simple.
mean, the other way you do around that is you allow private servers.
Yep.
Like on your your public owned server from the game, none of that shit flies. But if some hobo wants to be a fucking hobo, shouting jabroni shit, like he can make jabronis fun times,
yeah.
and then no one will ever go there.
It's interesting that they're studying it.
I mean,
It's not that difficult to understand. People are racist. People are sexist. Most of the time, it's just because they can be. It's
Yeah.
not because they actually are racist or anything like that. They just because they can be, and it's a competitive game where the goal is to kill people. You're gonna get the worst out of some people, and that's just the bottom line. The way you combat it is you ban them, or you do what you said. You delegate private things, and that's it. It's not that difficult. We figured it out. Thank you, guys. Give us our
I mean,
paycheck.
Yeah, for real. But no, I mean, at the same time, like I'm still interested in that study, just because, like, I mean, like I'm interested in it not from a video game standpoint, but I mean, it would be interesting to see more like if there's anything deeper to just because they can.
Yeah.
Like that would be like if there was an actual legit study on that, that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm, dude, I want to see a scientific journal like actually take a crack at that instead of fucking EA
Or Kotaku. Or like Kotaku or something.
Yeah, fucking BuzzFeed's gonna fucking do a fucking investigation for EA.
All right, last story. Last Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct coming 1st of November, which is Thursday, 7 a.m. Pacific. What is that, 10 a.m. Eastern?
Yep.
What are you thinking, dude? Are you thinking they gonna give us any new characters?
40 minutes long.
They're probably just gonna play it.
Direct.
I feel like they're just gonna play it.
Well,
Round 2 of
actually,
it's canceled.
They are going to play it because following the direct is one of their tree houses where they're doing Smash Brothers.
Let me guess, another tournament.
No, they're just going to be playing.
Treehouse, their treehouse is just jabronis play it and talk about it.
Yeah, so they're doing
I
that.
don't know, I'm using jabronis so much today. But
Jabronis. How did that play? They're going to be doing Pokemon Let's Go as well. I believe they're doing Diablo 3, and there's rumors that they're going to be having an amiibo for Diablo 3.
Are you gonna get one?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
That's if I buy Diablo 3 for the Switch.
I mean, I'm gonna bet
You're definitely getting
I'd
it.
buy Diablo 3. I don't know about an amiibo though.
You're definitely getting it, Doobie.
But I mean, I'm definitely getting another Crom, another all the Fire Emblem amiibo. But no, for 40 minutes, I'm looking for a couple character reveals. Pretty much whatever characters they have left. There was the quote unquote Grinch leak that happened. I don't think we talked about it much, but I don't want to spoil anybody, so I'm not going to say who was named.
I just want Dundertale, the donkey Undertale character.
Jesus. But there was a leak that had like 7 characters, 5 of them new, 2 of them Echo fighters. So we'll see if it's real. If not, we'll shoot.
Wait, the Grinch is supposed to be coming?
Well, the reason they called it the Grinch leak was it was from like some guy taking pictures in like France who was working for some like company that does promotional materials. And there was an asset on the bottom right of the picture that was like a Grinch asset that nobody had seen before. So they were thinking, oh, it's legitimate because there's this unseen asset and the company he says he's working for is doing the Grinch marketing as well. And he took
How does that tie up?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
It's a long story, but he took a picture.
It's Buddy the Elf is in fucking Super Smash Bros. Come on.
You know that poster they show every time they like add new characters? And
Yeah,
they, like,
the Grinch was on there.
Well, there was 7 new characters that were on there.
Okay.
And some of them are pretty like obscure, and some of them are like fan requested for a while.
So the reason they thought it was legit is because of
this Grinch asset and the fact that there was a LinkedIn profile. It's a long story. Either way, we're gonna find out if it's real or not.
All right, yeah.
But I'm looking for a couple stage reveals to go, like the final stage like listing, the final character listing. And then I want to hear about the story mode, whatever that mode was that they had, like what did they do? They had like it scrambled the last time they showed the main screen. Right. I'm hoping it's a story mode, and I'd like to get some info on that. So I think we will get info on whatever that mode is. But for 40 minutes,
I feel like Smash is the only game where they spoil the entire game before you get it.
They didn't used to. Oh, they kind of didn't.
It's like the entire game is spoiled now. Now you know exactly what's in it.
Yeah, but you still have to unlock everything.
Well, you see, there's a Mario character and a Luigi character.
No, it's not Luigi.
And then they fight each other.
Green
There's
Mario.
Red Mario.
Sorry, I just spoiled fucking Super Smash Brothers.
First of all, there's Red Mario, and then there's a Green Mario.
There's Yellow Mario. Like Fat Mario?
Who's Purple Mario? Is he in the game?
Purple Mario's not in the game, and it made a lot of people mad.
Well, Bowsette in the game?
I don't care then.
There's a Mario with horns. There's female Mario.
There's a Dino Mario. There's Metal Gear Solid Snake Mario.
It's like the Goku of Dragon Ball fighting games.
Yeah.
How many Marios can we put in this game?
No, that's what Nintendo does. A variation
There's
of
Mario with
of an
sword.
Italian man. All
There's
right.
a couple Marios that are anime.
All right, that's it for the show. Make sure you catch tomorrow where we talk about the Apple iPad, Mac Mini, and MacBook Air.
And OnePlus.
And the OnePlus. And guess what? I just ate chicken wings on air. That's how I do it on the show. Okay, so make sure you follow us on on No Life Digital at Instagram, Twitter, and our website nolife.digital. There's no .com. It's just nolife.digital. Okay, bye now.